matters. And what I do now, moving forward, is what matters.
Right to work.
Instead, the Puerto Rican resident doubled down.
And they've stopped it! Round one, knockout, Jake Paul, El Gallo de Dorado! You scared coward! The rematch is here.
Career suicide.
Oh, it's risky for Mike Tyson.
And it will make Jake Paul the most hated man in boxing.
Gotta pick up
Vin McBride.
Faced off.
Pisses me and different date, same fate, I'm a knockout. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson just crumbled Jake Paul after releasing new fight rules for November 15th. Jake initially cancelled the fight thinking he could get away with it, claiming that Mike, being nearly 60, wouldn't be in his best shape, but Mike Tyson wasn't having any of that nonsense. He hit Jake with a $350 million fine for thinking he himself is the authority. Now Jake come running back, begging Mike to stick to the original schedule, but now he has to deal with the consequences and face the new fight rules. And trust me, these new rules are designed specifically to break Jake's bones. It all started on July 5th, 2024, when Jake Paul threw the boxing world for a loop by announcing he was cancelling his big fight with Mike Tyson. Yep, you heard that right. In a video on his YouTube channel, Jake claimed he was super worried about Tyson's health. He even cited some medical advice saying that at 58 Tyson might not be up for the challenge. Was all about Mike's health comes first, showing his respect for the legendary boxer and all that jazz. Obviously devastating news. I'm heartbroken, speechless, like gutted. We've been working so hard over here, everyone in this camp, and I just feel bad for everyone involved in this event. This announcement hit like a bombshell, especially with all the hype that had been building up around the fight. Tyson had been training like a beast, sharing his progress on social media, proving he still had it. But then Jake's sudden cancellation left everyone scratching their heads. The internet exploded with confusion and speculation. Jake tried to smooth things over by telling fans to just forget about the fight and focus on the future. Yeah, that didn't go over well. People were frustrated, promoters and sponsors were ticked off in a twist no one saw coming. Jake announced he had a new opponent, Mike Per. This fight was set for July 20th, 2024. Perry, a former USC fighter with a wild style and a big personality, was definitely an interesting choice. Jake's explanation for the switch: Mike Perry is a great fighter and a true competitor. That's it, that's all he said. Yeah, the news is true, folks. Jake Paul will be fighting Mike Perry, Tampa, Florida, July. The news left fans both curious and skeptical. People started debating the fight's implications. Perry, who had switched from MMA to boxing, brought a whole different vibe. His no-nonsense brawler mentality was a stark contrast to Jake's flashy persona. Promotion for Paul vs. Perry fight kicked off in high gear. Perry, never shy, promised a war in the ring, amping up the anticipation. Meanwhile, the shadow of the cancelled Tyson fight loomed large, making everyone wonder what could have been. But no one, and I mean no one, reacted more explosively than Iron Mike himself. Imagine a man in severe pain from an ulcer, yet still refusing to cancel the fight because of his sense of commitment. And then here comes Jake Paul, thinking he can just call it off. Who does he think he is? Mike Tyson doesn't play around, especially when there are millions on the line. So what's his first move? He hits Jake Paul with a $350 million lawsuit. Yep, $350 million. Why such a staggering amount, you ask? Let's break it down. The financial fallout from Jake's sudden change of plans was massive. Companies like Monster Energy and DraftKings had dumped a fortune into advertising this mega matchup. We're talking multi-million dollar campaigns that are now totally useless. Next, sponsorships big brands had lined up to associate the names with what was supposed to be one of the biggest boxing events of the year when Jake pulled the plug. All those sponsorship deals turned into financial black holes. It's like watching stacks of cash burn in a bonfire. And don't even get me started on the advertising, TV spots, online ads, billboards gone poof up in smoke. Biggest fight, yeah, the biggest ever. It's on pace to be the biggest fight ever, and we're involved, right? Involved all those big chefs, all the biggest athletes in the world. This is the biggest ever. November 28th. We lit here, we lit at the Tyson Ranch. And the venue bookings, these events don't just happen, they're planned months in advance from the broadcasters who secured exclusive rights to the small-time investors hoping to cash in. Everyone took a hit, and now Jake Paul is facing the music. The controversy over the $350 million fine has sparked a heated debate. Critics argue the amount is excessive,